Hello and welcome back to Webcast News. Let's get started. First in Facebook news, Facebook will now allow you to let somebody use your account after you die. Now, this is in something they are calling a Facebook heir, in which if you go into your personal settings, there will be an option to set an heir to your account should you die. Now you can only select one person to be your Facebook heir, and whoever you select will have the option of being able to update profile photos, to also accept any friend requests, and to also pin posts. However, there are restrictions that do not allow a Facebook heir to be able to delete any photos or to be able to create any new posts. Now, what used to happen with the accounts is that once Facebook heard of a person's death, they froze the account, which meant that the account stayed online, could still be viewed, but no one would have any access to it and nothing could be changed. Now, if someone does not set a Facebook heir, then this will still happen. The account will be frozen and no one can access it unless they know how to get into it. However, they have said that if you leave a digital heir in your official will, then that person does get the Facebook account. So there's the question of the day. What do you think of this idea from Facebook? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think the account should just be left? The actual idea of this is to allow family members to be able to commemorate and remember the deceased person through their account. Well, again, do you think this is a good idea? Let me know in the comment section down below. And next in the news is some very bizarre news, because a British tank crashed through a fence and into an elderly couple's garden in Paderborn, Germany. Now, Ulrich Tilsner is a 67-year-old man who lives with his wife in a small house, and they got a massive shock when an armoured warrior infantry fighting vehicle that belonged to the local military driving school crashed through their fence into their garden and just stopped before hitting their house, with a spokeswoman from the military driving school saying that the vehicle had developed a technical fault because something had come loose. That is not a very technical term. And it was the granddaughter of Mr. Tilsner, Stephanie Ney, who actually spoke to the German newspapers to tell the story, and it's a pretty funny one really, but kind of not. She told the German paper that she received a call from her grandfather, who was obviously coming out to visit them, in which Mr. Tilsner said, "I'm a bit late, I have a tank in the garden." She then rushed over to her grandparents' house, and she managed to get there in time to find a tank in the middle of the hedge and soldiers everywhere, and our dog was barking furiously. Thankfully, nobody was injured in this incident, but I really hope that the Tilsner couple actually have insurance on their house that covers tanks damage as well. And finally, a very heartwarming story from Louisville, Kentucky, where Danny Robinson and Ashley McIntyre are set to get married, but the way they met is a very unusual one. In January 2014, Miss McIntyre's mother was on the radio talking about a 25-year-old Danny Robinson who needed a kidney transplant desperately, and he had also had other tragic things happen in his life in recent times, where on Christmas Day 2011 his house burnt down, and then just a year later his father passed away from brain cancer. Miss McIntyre then said that she felt sorry for Mr. Robinson, so she then called in to try and donate a kidney to Mr. Robinson, who was in desperate need of one. She then went through the medical tests to see if she was compatible with him, and fortunately she was. And in March they met, and in April the surgery happened to give Mr. Robinson the kidney that he so needed to then replace the two non-functioning kidneys that he had. The two then stayed in contact after the procedure, and by May they were dating. They then carried on with their relationship, and on Christmas Day 2014 exactly 3 years after Mr. Robinson's house had burnt down, he asked Ashley McIntyre to marry him and she said yes. And as if that wasn't enough feels for one news story, they say that they are expecting their first child to be born in June. So congratulations to the pair of them, and it is a really heartwarming story to end the week on. And that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.